And we live, man. Welcome to the Cold Truth Podcast, where we tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and don't care how you feel about it. I'm your host, White Boy Chris. Yeah, I got to talk about an L. We took a little later, but it's all right. It's still early in the season. We ain't gonna panic. But before we get into it, so I guess we just talk about some news around the NFL before we get into the nitty gritty of these games. Yeah, we can do that. But I guess the main thing, I mean, I really wasn't gonna talk about it, but the only reason why I was, even like caught my attention, of course, everybody knows if you haven't now that Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift got a little thing going on. But like I said, I ain't really care. I don't be caring who these motherfuckers be dating. I don't care that day. That's your business. You like it, I love it. But the crazy thing that got me is just this, like what, maybe not even a week this been out, and Travis Kelsey's jersey sales have went up 400%. Talk, bro. I'm talking about having the right one on your side, dog. Affiliation immediately got your jersey sales going up 400%. That is crazy. I don't know if we don't seen a jump like that before. I ain't looked and did no research, but I don't know if there's anything that's ever happened that's caused a jersey sale for a player to go up 400%. That's kind of wild. That is wild. But like I said, I wasn't gonna spend too much time on that. Uh, Besides that, just talking a little college because Dion got us watching. Uh, I knew they was gonna lose. I ain't know they was gonna lose like that though. I ain't gonna lie. I did not know they was gonna lose like that. So what was the score again? 42 to 6 because they ain't even let them get a they ain't even let them get a the extra point. So let's see. Just see if I can get this pulled up. See if I can actually get some volume to work on here. Because every time I try to share a video, it'll never want to work. Just in case y'all haven't heard this audio, go ahead and share it with y'all real quick. I hope it play. Let me see.
Rooted in substance, not flash. Rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
Rooted in.
Now I don't know about y'all. I'm going to war for that. And he ain't do nothing. Hey, man. Hey, he did what he was supposed to do. But I tell you what, though, you have a coach come out like that, shit. It's a lot of football players and former football players that'll tell you they would have ran through a brick wall if they coach would have gave them a speech like that. They don't care if the coach trash or not. You get to talking like that, oh, you gonna get some boys to play for you. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. That boy got them kids ready. That man got them kids ready to play. And they was ready to play from the whistle. And me personally, I get what Dion tried to say. I don't give a damn. I am not deferring and letting them get the ball first. Absolutely not. That's just you trying to hold your nuts a little too much, my boy. You know that you need to have the ball as much as possible. I understand you trying to set up. We got to start using our brain with this shit. Them boys marched right down the field, scored. You can't do that when you done said it. You done said you ain't got the big boys up front. So why would you even put yourself in that predicament? And we talking about on the offensive line and the defensive line. If this was just skill players playing against skill players, shit, you might have something. But man, come on now, Dion. I just kind of feel like you were just trying to flex a little bit too much on that. That's just me personally. I ain't deferring shit. I want that ball. That's just me. I mean, y'all might have a different opinion on it, but I ain't giving these niggas no chances. I ain't giving them no chance. But hey, I mean, maybe he thought they was gonna be able to produce something on defense, or maybe he just wanted to see what he was in for the whole game, because that's pretty much what they was in for the whole entire game. I'm just glad they was able to get away from not putting up a donut. That's the only thing I was worried about. I was like, please don't let them leave this donut on this scoreboard. That's all I was worried about. But I mean, I ain't overreacting to him losing. I know a lot of people are. They were just waiting. But it's like, this is first year. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, me personally, do I feel like they're going to make the playoffs? Not so much. But if he at least can, because USC didn't really look too good this past weekend. I forgot who they played. I don't even think the people they played was ranked. But they didn't really look too good, or they ain't look like the USC that we used to seeing. Let me say that. I mean, they still hung 42 on them, but it just kind of looked ugly the way it was happening. As far as just the defense, it seemed like at one point, in the game that Arizona State was, they was still able to put points up on the board. I mean, I know we ain't talking about Arizona State or nothing like that, but I mean, when we just get to talking about college, they be looking at these ranked teams and these unranked teams like, okay, you should go in there and dominate them. Like, yeah, they, like I said, 42-28. I mean, clearly they still did their job, but you just got a lot of people that was complaining about, more or less what the defense looked like. Let me say that, not the offense, more or less the defense. You know what I'm saying? So that was just me. I mean, that was just how, they was feeling about it. I didn't watch too much of that game just because of who they was playing. I just watched a couple little highlights, so I couldn't, go into details about it anyway. But like I said, just, getting back to Colorado, I just kind of feel like, maybe if they pull out this win against USC and if they lose maybe one more game, I got to look at the rest of their schedule and see who else they play. But I feel like they could get to if they at least could get to and win a bowl game. This first season is a success. No matter what anybody tries to say, they can bring all that national champ. Hey, it's a lot of niggas, cold motherfuckers that ain't even been or won a bowl game, ain't been to no college playoff. So I ain't gonna hold. Hey, they get to a bowl game, it's a successful season. It is a successful season, and we'll be able to judge next year, if he's really been out there been recruiting the way he's supposed to. Because, I mean, skilled players, just me personally, if I was him, I mean, yeah, you want as many as you can get, but my priority, I need them big boys. Them big boys is, I mean, them come around a dime a dozen. The good ones. The good ones. Them good big boys to protect that, the most important man, and then the other ones that's coming to get the most important man on defense. When you find those gems, you got to keep them. I mean, skilled players in college, you can find them boys anywhere through the transfer portal. You can find them boys anywhere. But I definitely think that people just kind of overreacting to this whole Colorado situation. This is first year. Everybody just, kind of mad that he just kind of out there with it, but that's how he always been. He ain't finna change all of a sudden. So that's just my little 2 cents on it. But we can go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of it. We can go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of it. We might as well go ahead and get this out the way because this is really the starting point. The Miami Dolphins beat the Denver Broncos 70-20, man. This is a college score. I know a lot of people is going to be looking at Russell Wilson because of the stinker that he put on last year. I know that everybody going to be looking at him as far as what's going on this year. Look, we can say, yeah, that Russell Wilson may, be doing the same thing or, not necessarily the same thing, but he pretty much kind of giving you, I think he's kept them competitive in some games. Let me just say that. So the first game they played against the Raiders, they lost by 1 point. Okay, we give them that. That's a division game, first game of the season. Unfortunately, he had a turnover. But I don't know, man. But then so next week they play the Commanders, 33-35. Still competitive. The point I'm trying to get to is that where is this defense that we said was going to be able to keep these other teams from scoring so many points? Because if you ask me personally, I mean, I know we're going to get into the nitty gritty of this in a minute, but them first two games are field goals. Yesterday, this man threw for 294 yards, rushed for 69, but unfortunately, he had 3 turnovers. But aside from that, I can't even put this on him, man. This defense got 70 hung on their fucking head. They let them bring a 50 piece, and they gave them an extra 20 for being the 100th customer for the other day. It ain't no other way to put this. I know we use this term loosely, but these niggas got their ass whooped. There ain't no other way to put this. And I wanted to do this first. We're gonna get into some other, primetime games, but this right here is just absolutely disgusting. How do you go into the meeting room next Monday as a head coach? Oh, and Sean Payton, you trash for that little weak ass interview. Like, yeah, you got your ass whooped, but hey, you don't want to put this staff together. That's the same defense from last year, and y'all added pieces, and you're still bad. So, whoever you hired as your defensive coordinator, Van Joseph, whatever this nigga name is, if he get beat by the Bears, he need to have his office cleared out Sunday night. I don't give a damn what time y'all come back. Oh shit, when does that game get played? Just to make sure that he has ample time. I feel like 12 o'clock, even better. Y'all lose that game. He need to go ahead and have his flight booked to go back home because he's not flying on the team plane. He has one chance to use his access code to get into the building to clear out his shit. If he leaves anything in there, it's getting thrown in the trash. How does the one thing that you were able to hang your hat on get worse in an offseason? These the people that you brought in. And everybody, I don't give a damn if it's just 3 games. I don't care if this is his first year. This shit just looks bad. And the reason why it looks bad is because he was talking shit about what they did last year. But guess what? They started off better than you. I believe they started off 2-1. It was disgusting. It ain't look good. But at the end of the day, we can only look at wins and losses. And you're not winning. Yeah, the first 2 are close possession games, but yesterday is unexcusable. You can't be a team in the modern day NFL where all the rules are pretty much gifted for offenses to score points. Come on, man. You've been doing this shit far too long to let somebody hang 70 on your motherfucking head. And whoever that defensive coordinator is that you picked, I ain't looked too much into his background and where he came from, but I don't know where you got him from. I don't know. This is somebody you knew, somebody that you used to have. Uh, let him lose this game. Let him lose this game against the Bears. Against a quarterback that got damn near the worst passer rating in the league. Let him lose. Shit don't make no sense. I don't know what does he have on his resume as of late? Like just the past, 4 or 5 years. It's 2023. Like I'm looking at his resume right now. Like defensive coordinator, head coach, Denver Broncos, 2017, 2018. They got rid of him after a year. Arizona Cardinals, defensive coordinator, 2019, 2022. I mean, they defense was all right, maybe middle of the pack, if I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But ain't like we was talking about them being no world beaters. They had to go get an old ass JJ Watt to try to help them out, man. Come on now. Like, I'm just looking I don't know what he's done or what will make you think that he is suited to be a defensive coordinator. I didn't see nothing impressive in Arizona. Maybe somebody could come in here and prove me wrong. That's where he was at before for 3 years. He was in Denver for a year for a head coach. Miami in 2016. I don't remember what they were doing, but I mean, I could go like that's the last defensive coordinator job. I mean, the first defensive coordinator job that he had in the NFL was with the Dolphins in 2016, and he only had that job for a year because I guess they thought he was good enough to go to Denver and be the head coach, and he only had that job for a year. So I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see what he's doing or what he's done to where you just had to have him. Like, I guess really like, I mean, I guess the first year with the Dolphins that he had, he got to the playoffs. Yeah. So it looks like that first year with the Dolphins was what got his claim to fame. So, hey man. Oh, he coached the Broncos for 2 years. Yeah, they had nothing. Didn't even get to 500. So I don't know. I just don't understand. I just don't know how you walk into the goddamn building on Monday and explain this shit. This something that ain't been broken, only been done what 3, 4 times, and it's like we ain't seen no adjustments. I mean, if we could just flip to the other side, I don't know how we're not looking at Tua as just a clear cut MVP right now. After these first 3 games, I don't know how we can't look at him as the MVP right now. I don't think that's a stretch. I mean, shit, you hang 70, You beat the Patriots and you beat the Chargers opening week and was putting up numbers. Tua is the MVP right now. And it ain't no debating that. I'm sorry. When you look at the most explosive offense in the league right now, when you look at his numbers, especially when we just look at, the fact that this is mainly a quarterback's, goddamn award, unless you another position that you just go fucking crazy, Tua is the MVP right now. And there's no debating it. You ain't got to be okay with it. But it is what it is. Patrick Mahomes ain't been putting up these type of numbers right now. And Tua been playing against what we think was actually some good competition. I know people try to overlook the Patriots, but the Patriots defense. We see what they be doing. The Chargers, they ain't no slouch. They putting up points. We thought Denver was gonna be something, but clearly, that's people can say what they want to about that nigga Tua, man. But right now, he is the leading candidate for MVP over Patrick Mahomes, over Jalen Hurts, any other top quarterback you want to name right now. He is outplaying them, and it's a gap. It's a gap. It ain't even close. Christian McCaffrey may be the only player outside of a quarterback that might be able to, but even still, the numbers let's just look at the numbers that this dude has put up in just the first 3 games. Like, it's just one of the, you really just got to see it to believe that this nigga already over, man, 3 games, already over 1,000 yards. Come on, man. 3 games and you're already over 1,000 yards. That's averaging about 333 yards a game. We've been seeing niggas ain't been able to get over 170, 180, 200. Niggas used to be able to do that in they sleep. And in a league now where it's built around offense, shit. Hell no, man. This nigga Tua is MVP right now. Right now. And it ain't even close. It ain't even close. So far, where's he at, man? So Tua threw for 466 yards week 1, 244 yards week 2, and 376 yards week 3. Come on, man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You can't make that. It don't matter what the weapons is. It don't matter. We wasn't saying nothing about weapons when Patrick Mahomes won that first one with Tyreek and Travis Kelce. We wasn't saying that shit when Brady won his not Brady, when Peyton Manning won that MVP in Denver. We ain't say nothing. We ain't bring up no goddamn weapons that he had, and they both had some cold motherfuckers. People can feel what they want to about Tua, but we ain't finna change no goddamn narrative just because you feel the type of way. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna let it happen. I ain't the biggest Tua fan neither, but we got to go ahead and keep it a buck. That nigga is MVP right now, and it ain't even close. If they get the number 1 seed and is able to do all their games in Miami, they might go to the Super Bowl and win that bitch. They just got to hope that Kansas City don't catch fire. Maybe Buffalo. Because right now, Buffalo, they done played the Raiders and the Commanders back-to-back, so shit. Man, shit. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about none of that weapons or whatever. They built a team around him, and he is executing that shit perfectly. That's what you're supposed to do. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Do your damn job. And clearly he is doing his damn job. When you able to give somebody a 50 piece and give them 20 for free just because they were the 100th customer to place an order, that shit is crazy. That's just what it is. He MVP right now. It is what it is. Can't argue it. Shit just crazy. Look at this shit. 466 yards, 249, 309, 3 touchdowns, 1 touchdown. Already got 8 touchdowns on the year, only 2 picks. Don't make no damn sense. Don't make no goddamn sense. Completing 71% of his passes. Come on, man. We can't deny this shit no more. We can't deny this shit no more. To an MVP right now. And it is what it is. Niggas try to argue that shit all they want to, but man, I just got tired of talking about them sorry ass Broncos. But Tua is in the lead for MVP right now. Christian McCaffrey may be second, but it ain't even a close second. It is a gap. It is a gap. Yeah, hey. I'm just telling y'all niggas now. Miami fuck around, get that number 1 seed, get a first round bye. And as long as it ain't raining in that bitch, and they get to finish people got to come to Miami. Man, say. Them niggas fuck around, go to the Super Bowl and win that bitch. Especially if they healthy. I don't think no defense in the NFC is stopping them boys. Well, I'll take that back. Maybe the 49ers, because they do know how to, between they pass rush and they able to, but besides that, just because I feel like the 49ers are able to stop a run in a sense, but nigga, ain't no way. Just ain't no way. I just got to put 70 on them. Put 70 on them, bro. It's disgusting. It's nasty. It's really disgusting. I don't even know how them niggas could walk up and collect their game check after that shit. If I'm on the Denver defense, I don't know how. I hope my check get direct deposit. I couldn't even go to the counter and ask for that shit. Anybody that played on that defense, y'all might as well donate that check to charity, man. Y'all ain't deserve that. Man, I don't want to hear this. We're gonna get to this in a minute, but no, hell no. No, we're gonna get to that, but no, don't blame him. Nope, not gonna allow it. Not gonna allow it. We ain't putting that on Diggs. Not going to allow it. But I guess I'm okay with, moving on from that stinker that the Broncos put on national TV for the world to watch. But we can go ahead and just get into some of these other games, man. So, we done with that. But the Falcons and the Lions game ended up being 20-6. Say, man, I mean, I kind of expected Detroit to win this game. And I didn't even really pay too much attention to it, so I couldn't tell you the details about it. Just, going off of the stats. I feel like that I had to go back and watch there's a lot of games. I ain't had time to go watch every goddamn highlight yet. But I definitely would like to see how, they kind of slowed down Bijan Robinson in that Russia game. He only averaged 3.3 yards, of course, we know, off of 10 carries. And then they only allowed him to get 27 yards receiving. So they kind of held them in check. Detroit didn't allow them to get a score. Surprisingly, Desmond Ridder, it doesn't look like from what I'm seeing, I don't think he had any fumbles or anything, or any turnovers. But let me go back and make sure. Oh, somebody lost a fumble, but I don't know who. I ain't went to see exactly, what all happened. But yeah, and the fact that the Lions still won this game after 119 yards worth of penalties just lets you know that, yeah, but the defense clearly, held them in check. They only allowed they sacked the damn quarterback 7 times, and caused them to lose a fumble. So I could definitely see where defense came into play, but they really, kept them in check. They only, allowed 130, but this is right. They only allowed 44 rushing yards, which we all know, if you pay attention to what, is going around in the league, that is what that's what Atlanta's bread and butter is. They want to run the ball. So I'm kind of shocked that they kept them to 44 yards, but at the same time, I'm shocked. I can't even lie. I'm shocked because that's what Atlanta do. Atlanta prided themselves on running the football, and when you have all that young talent, when you have I believe his name Tyler Algier, I hope I'm saying his name right, and then you draft Bijan Robinson in the first round, you just you have to have the run game, and the fact that you were only able to get 44 yards, I kind of see why they weren't able to get anything going. They didn't get in the end zone. They kicked 2 field goals. They didn't score. They kicked 2 field goals from the looks of it. So yeah, shit. Let me make sure. Yeah, kicking. Yep, 2 for 3. He missed 1 and made 2. So the kicker earned his paycheck. Young Hoku earned his paycheck that week. But yeah, I really do feel like that. Oh, he talking about Diggs in a Dolphins match, man. That Diggs injury for the have y'all fucked in a lot of matchups. I don't think, but like I said, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it before I get ahead of myself, because I got to talk about them niggas too. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, Lions, Falcons, I ain't really, too surprised by that outcome. Chargers, Vikings. I don't know if how many people caught the end of this game, but I just kind of want to backtrack into something that I said last year. I said that I did not trust the Vikings because they had too many one-score game wins. I said there's not enough to where they just, they won by a 2-possession game or something like that. It was too many, 3.1 possession game, wins. Point game wins. You know what I'm saying? And that was just something that kind of like was a red flag for me when you just talking about, and we kind of see what happened. You got a first round exit. So now we're looking at the Vikings again. If you look at all the scores today, games, the only one that looked like a blowout originally was the Eagles game. Oh, excuse me, but they almost came back. But they made it a 1-possession game. But I don't understand, if you the Chargers, why is it that it takes some organizations so long to realize what everybody else is seeing? Why do y'all keep allowing Brandon Staley to make these ridiculous decisions? Why do you elect to go for it on 4th and 1 or whatever it was on your own 24-yard line instead of punt the ball when there wasn't that much time left? Now, the only reason why they can hold their head up high is because their defense stepped up and they won the game. But let's not act like we all ain't been looking at the Chargers defense like it's a little suspect, like niggas ain't been passing the ball in their ass all season. They got one of the worst pass defenses in the league. And if we know one thing, we may talk about Kirk Cousins, but that nigga gonna throw that goddamn ball. I mean, he might do some dumb shit, but he gonna throw that motherfucking ball. Now, I just went back and looked. He had some plays that he just missed. He just missed. But the Chargers need to go ahead. I mean, I don't know. It just don't make no sense. It makes literally no sense of why you would make that decision. Really, the Chargers need to go ahead and send Kirk Cousins a game check. Hell, he helped them win the game. Because I guarantee if they weren't playing against Kirk Cousins, you had a better quarterback in that position where you wouldn't have got away with that. You ain't getting away with that. Now maybe they did it because it was Kirk Cousins. I don't know, but I don't give a damn who it is. I ain't giving you no opportunity. And on top of that, you have to score to beat me. You damn near had him in the red zone, man. You damn near had him in the red zone. They ain't had him much further to go. Red zone, they never right there, 20-yard line. So I don't know. But he been in question for a long time. And then on top of that, we spoke on this. Why is your defense looking so stinky? And that's the side of the ball that you coach. You're a defensive-minded coach. That's what you were. You were on the defensive side of the ball before you got hired. So why is it that your side of the ball is looking so good so bad with all that talent that you have? We acting like you ain't got Joey Bosa. Acting like you ain't got Khalil Mack. Acting like you ain't got Derwin James. What's going on? I always forget that cornerback name, but I don't even think he played yesterday. But still, I'm gonna think of his name in a minute. J.C. Jackson. Even when he was healthy, you still had a bad pass defense. We saw it. So I don't know. I'm just a firm believer. It's just like, look, if you were a head coach, whatever side of the ball that you used to coach, whether it be defense, offense, or special teams, whatever the case may be, your side of the ball that you coached cannot look bad. We question these type of coaches all the time. We question Mike Tomlin if his defense is looking stinky. We question Sean McDermott out in Buffalo. We questioned the coach that I can't remember damn his name on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. It's right on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it. But we question these dudes all the time. So I don't know. That shit really just kind of weird to me. But shout out to the Chargers, man. I think Keenan Allen had another monster day. That boy been going stupid. Oh no, man. Herbert been looking damn good. I mean, Kellen Moore got him looking damn good. He been putting up numbers. Like I said, they defense just can't stop nobody. Just can't stop nobody. That's their only problem. They defense can't stop nothing. I mean, shit, you got Keenan Allen throwing for a touchdown. He had over 200 yards receiving. My God, 200 yards receiving, bro. 40 for 47 was Justin Herbert passing the ball. 40 for 47. That means his ball, pause, only didn't get caught 6 times. Come on, man. So clearly with just these first 3 games, I think we can see that the Chargers offense is not the problem. Considering, the Dolphins, you lost 36-34. We know what they are. The Chargers and the Titans, we was kind of shocked on that because of how bad they look, and you lost by 3. And then, this game, you finally got one by 4. So it ain't like y'all ain't scoring. You scored, what, 34, 27, 28. Ain't like you ain't putting up points. I just think your defense is ass. Oh, yeah. He threw for a touchdown. Hey, so I guess it count. He threw for a touchdown, so I guess it count for a touchdown. I don't know who he threw it to, but hey, 200 yards, 200 yards. I'm pretty sure he's not complaining. But shout out to the Chargers though, man. Y'all was able to pull out the win despite bad coaching decisions. But I don't know. I don't too much care for Brandon Staley. I didn't think that he should have been back after they lost that playoff game the way they did last year. But that's just me. It is what it is. So next we got the Saints Packers. Now I watched this game up until halftime and I cut this shit off. But it was like I had other games that I was watching. Then I was like, oh shit, Derek Carter went out, and I'm like, oh okay. Then I'm like, well, even still, I mean, Jameis Winston should be able to manage this and not just not fuck it up. But I was wrong. I thought Jameis Winston was going to be able to at least not fuck it up. When you got a 17-0 cushion, I would think that a quarterback that used to start in the National Football League, he did put up numbers. He just also put up turnover numbers, but I don't know. It's like he just couldn't put no more points on the board, which is not like, I don't know. Oh, man. That shit wild, bro. I don't know. I mean, you had a touchdown on a punt return. You had Derek Carr throw a touchdown. And then, you got yourself a field goal. So you had your 17-0 cushion. But then it's just like, okay, what happened on defense, bro? Like, where are the adjustments? Like, they were down 17-0. And y'all couldn't put up another point for the rest of the game. And it ain't like they just had, y'all had them dead to rights. But second half, and shit, y'all no turnovers. It's just y'all couldn't move the ball on third down. 4 for 14, that'll get you beat. 4 sacks allowed, 7 punts, 102 yards and penalties. That'll get you beat. I'm just like, God damn, yeah. I literally turned this game off because I was like, ain't nothing else to watch. What else I need to watch this for? As long as they just hold up, just run the ball, run the clock out, they should win. Put up another score, they should win this game. So I don't know. This game was just very weird. Yeah. And like I said, I didn't see Jameis play. So I don't know exactly how he looked. I mean, he went 10 for 16, threw for like 100 yards, didn't turn the ball over. Like I said, I don't know. But yeah, for you to do a comeback like that in your first year, I will say that boy got some nuts. Shit, we know motherfuckers that's been, sitting behind center for shit decade can't pull one out they had like that. They said Jameis the duck. Man, chill out on my boy Jameis Winston, man. I actually hated when he got hurt, when he had Sean Payton. I really feel like that Sean Payton was like doing a damn good job with him. But I mean, I don't even know who the hell that that offensive coordinator is down there. I couldn't pick him out in a group. I don't know who the hell that is. But like I said, I ain't paid too much attention to this game. But we're gonna move on. Now this is a game I did pay attention to only because I have that. What the fuck is going on with Trevor Lawrence? Can somebody please explain to me what the hell is going on with him? Why is a quarterback playing worse with more talent? He only thing he done did is beat up on the goddamn Colts. Couldn't get into the end zone against the Chiefs and got your ass kicked to the Texans. Now I understand this is the National Football League, and you got to go ahead and you got to put, we can't just look at everything, in black and white as far as, talent and stuff like that. You still got to go on the field to perform. But goddamn, all this hype around you coming out of college. You finally get a Super Bowl winning coach. You get Calvin Ridley in the offseason. What is going on? Your numbers are not reflecting the hype that's around you. And people talk about Trevor Lawrence next up. I tell you one thing. I know I've been talking a lot of shit about some of these niggas in these big contracts. Do not let Trevor Lawrence play mediocre these next 2 years and y'all allow this man to be the next highest paid quarterback. I'm going to kill you niggas. I don't give a damn what. Do not. I swear to God. Y'all better not. Y'all better not. Y'all better not. Because this nigga has been looking like straight shit for somebody we supposed to be gassing up. Like, even against the Colts, he threw a pick. I mean, he's having a decent completion percentage, but it's like, god damn. Shit, against the Chiefs, he was terrible. 53%, man. No touchdowns. And it just, man, look. You can't be starting off like that with 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You already taken, you done took a division loss to the Texans, and we really thought that your only competition was going to be the Titans. You can't be moving like that, bro. And I don't give a damn about people talking about, it's a division game. They always play them hard. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Some of these niggas, bro, it's just meant you're supposed to beat these niggas' ass. I don't give a damn if it's a goddamn division game or not. Some of these niggas you just meant to beat their ass. Now I ain't saying that the Texans ain't formidable, but it's like they learn it on the go. You've been here. What are you doing? This is CJ Stroud's first year. And he picking y'all apart like that. All of you niggas should be ashamed. Offense, defense, coaches, water boy. Probably should have put some steroids in that bottle. Because these boys ain't been doing shit. Yeah, you try to let niggas go natural, but shit, we see why niggas was popping dope back in the 80s and the 90s. Sometimes some niggas just ain't got it. I don't know. Trevor, maybe this is maybe this is the Cinderella story of the NFL. This nigga Trevor Lawrence. Maybe we just needed a nigga with some blonde hair to talk about. I don't know. Because this shit right here ain't it. This ain't it. I just it irks the hell out of me. How do you get worse with better talent? I just don't get it. I like Tank Dell. I like Tank. I watched a lot of tape of Tank Dell, and he was a sleeper in that a lot of people were not talking about it, but I actually fuck with Tank Dell. Shit, we see what he did. We see what he did to him. We see what he did. He had a field day. Earned his check. 145 yards, with 5 catches and a touchdown. We just don't. We don't see. And mind you, again, they kept the Texans under 86 yards rushing, which is what they love to do with those running backs. But you don't see too many times in a young quarterback's first year where it's put on his back like that for them to win this game, or he's just getting whatever he wants. I mean, this is winning football. 9 for 15 on third down. You know what I'm saying? Less time of possession. No sacks allowed. Less plays. More yards and penalties, and they still beat y'all by 20. And Trevor Lawrence threw a pick. And somebody and fumbled the ball. And somebody fumbled the ball. So yeah, hell no. This nigga Trevor Lawrence, I don't know what the hell he got going on in his life right now, but this garbage that he's been putting on film, he better not be the next quarterback y'all try to pay. That's all. Make highest paid. Let me say that. He better be the next one that y'all try to make highest paid, because this is his 3rd year. So if he keeps this up, he's eligible for an extension. Y'all, oh my God, nigga, I don't think y'all understand. I don't think y'all understand. Because I said it about Justin Herbert. I mean, I understand he's putting up numbers, but shit, look, I'm just a believer that just because you next up, don't mean you need to be highest paid. I mean, some of them, yeah, I understand. That's your franchise guy. Go ahead and pay him. But y'all better not make this nigga next highest paid. Not based off of what I'm saying. We can say all we want to about the nigga Urban Meyer, but we got to take that first consideration, man. That nigga looked like straight shit under that nigga. Yeah, he came back and, rebounded, but right now, hey, you ain't supposed to be losing to no goddamn Texas. I don't give a damn. You supposed to be the clear club favorite to win this division, especially the way the Titans been playing. The Titans had one good game against the Chargers, and the reason why we just talked about it, their defense is ass. Defense is ass. So, I'm sorry. I look, y'all can say what y'all want to. That I just don't feel like that's supposed to happen, man. That shit just don't make no sense to me. And speaking of, like what I say, y'all, Titans 3, Browns 37. I ain't even pay attention to this game if I'm just keeping a buck. I mean, hell, you look at the score like that, ain't no point to watch that motherfucker. I don't want to be a witness to murder. So, hey, look at Ryan Tannehill, 13 to 25, 104 yards. But the biggest story, I guess, that we can go ahead and get into, I know I've been making some bold claims and statements, but just looking at these numbers this year, don't be surprised if Derrick Henry requests a trade before the trade deadline. And DeAndre Hopkins, sorry, buddy. Looks like you're stuck. Why you went there, nobody knows. And Andre, if you listening or if you see this later on, I know it's early, but the team that you talking about, nobody's talking about the Titans, right now is looking like there's a reason why we wasn't talking about them, even after signing DeAndre Hopkins. I understand you were saying Tannehill and him have won a lot of games together, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. We just got to talk about the Browns being anemic. At least a lot of people got through talking about them being anemic when they just played the Steelers because of the way the defense came back and won that game. And they hung 37 on them. They hung 37 on them. Oh, I'm sorry, 27. My fingers was going too quick when I was typing this. 27. But still a lot, but shit, still only allowed 3 points. Pretty damn good to me. pretty damn good to me. And we finally seen Deshaun Watson have a good game. 27 to 33, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, another big game, 116 yards, touchdown. Jerome Ford. I mean, hell, they wouldn't even. They only rushed the ball for 78 yards, but shit, that's all they needed because they held the Titans to 26. Come on, man. Oh, hey, man. I don't know. Ain't nothing to talk about. This game clearly was ass. Very mid. But another boring one. Bills and Commanders. They could have had them hanging up a donut too, but they went ahead and let them be nice and score. Ain't nothing to talk about. I mean, shit, they got dominated. Ain't really nothing else to bring up. I mean, Josh Allen, really didn't do too much. Uh, to lose the game. He had a rushing touchdown, threw for 218, threw a touchdown and a pick. But Commanders, they just couldn't get nothing going. Sam Howell had 4 interceptions alone. I mean, they ran for over 100 yards, but couldn't get in the end zone. Shit, then the only field goal they got was a 51-yard field goal, so they wasn't getting close. So, hey, shit. But yeah, this was just a bad game, a very bad game. But you got to play somebody. So, the Colts versus the Ravens. Anybody that knows that I am a Raven fan. This one, I wasn't too surprised about because I kind of told a couple of people before this. I said, watch me fuck around and lose this game. Because, it's always that one that you just feel like, okay, you're just supposed to win, but then you don't. I kind of just felt that we was going to end up losing this game. And I don't know. I just kind of felt that we was going to end up losing this game. I mean, 22-19, game went into overtime, but turnovers. Again, the Ravens ended up losing 2 fumbles, a problem that we've been talking about. And how the hell I don't know, man. I just me personally, just because, of course my eyes are, tuned to the games, like I said, I'm a fan of them. I kind of just feel like, and don't get me wrong, I know it was raining outside. I know weather has a lot to play into, the way the coaches scheme up plays and stuff like that. But these first 3 games, I just kind of feel like, and I know everything is new, but I just don't see Baltimore being aggressive, like on some. Okay, I understand that you're a running team, but you do have receivers like this. I understand Odell didn't play, but you still got Zay. You have Bateman that's finally healthy. You got Duvernay. Nelson Aguilar is actually looking a lot better than what I expected because I didn't too much care for the pickup when it happened, but he's here. He's been looking good. He was a big part of that game last week in the Bengals. He, looks like he found out how to use his hands again. But, I just don't feel that Baltimore is being aggressive enough. But shout out to the Colts, man. It's like, and also when I just feel like that. Also, again, when we talk, the Ravens just had bad situational football at the end of that game. How do you get a safety to go up and I think it's like under a minute left in the quarter, and you allow them to march down the field and just do whatever they please? I just don't get that. I ain't gonna run too deep just because try to get through these quick so I can get into the you know say the best for last. But you know, I just kind of feel like the Ravens ain't aggressive enough. Uh, health definitely takes a play, but hey, you gotta, hey, next man up. We can't make excuses. I understand it's easy, like, oh, we had this player out, but hey, it is what it is, man. Patriots versus the Jets. Now I understand that this was a early morning game. Well, not an early morning, like an early slot game. I didn't too much watch this game. I didn't care for it. I didn't really care to see two mediocre offenses going against one another. But I mean, it ain't nothing new. Patriots are always whooping the Jets' ass, but this just goes to credit the Jets defense. They can keep teams at a respectable amount. They often just can't produce no points, and it ain't like there's nothing new. We've been on this. So I ain't gonna get into that one too much. Panthers and the Seahawks. Uh, I mean, I would have loved that CJ Stroud was the one that played and put up these type of numbers so that I could have, kind of critique him a little bit more. But the fact that it wasn't him and it was Andy Dalton, I believe, it's kind of, what you expect from a vet. Um, I mean, they threw the ball a lot, so that's why his numbers are looking, ridiculous right now. But I mean, besides that, I really wasn't surprised. I kind of expected Seattle to win this game. I mean, we understand what the Panthers are and what they're going through right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. Geno Smith. I mean, the only thing about Geno right now is just the turnovers. But a lot of these quarterbacks been turning that bitch over. But he's putting up numbers. Ain't like he ain't throwing touchdowns. He's winning games. I just kind of wish he would cut down on these picks. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he has three games so far, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, he only has two. Okay. Oh no, he has one. Oh, I thought he threw one against the Rams. I'm sorry. Well, no. So far, Gino only had one pick, but I could have swore he threw one against either the Rams or the Lions. Maybe I'm trying to give him somebody else's interceptions. But you know, nevertheless, it is what it is. I'm liking what I'm saying for Gino. I mean, that first game against the Rams was kind of a what the hell, but definitely great bounce back. 296 yards, a touchdown, a pick, 63% completion percentage. A little lower than what you would like, but hey, we get the dub. You know what I mean? You get the dub. Bears versus the Chiefs. Who gives a damn? Uh, I'm just sorry. Who cares, man? I mean, we can go ahead and but I mean, we all kind of expected this, right? The Bears and the Chiefs. I mean, and at this point, it's a lot of questions around the Bears right now, anyway. So it's just, it's no surprise. It's really no surprise. I mean, Justin Fields again didn't throw for over 100 yards, touchdown, interception. It was just bad. And you know, shout out my boy DJ Moore, man. I mean, he got himself a touchdown, but it's been looking real. I'd much rather be in Carolina right now if I was DJ Moore. That's just me. That's just me. I'd much rather be in Carolina, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I mean, it's just like seems like they can't get nothing going. Seems like Chicago just can't get nothing going. But like I said, wasn't too much to talk about that game. Uh, so then we got Steelers Raiders. Gonna be the last one we just go over real quick before we just kind of break down these other games. Uh, I feel like this was a better game than what people gave it credit for. I feel like damn, I can't get his name out my damn Kenny Pickett. There we go. I feel like he had a lot better game as far as just you know, I just feel like he had a lot better offensive game than what we've been seeing. They've been Pittsburgh kind of, I don't know. It's weird because you kind of know the talent that they have in receiver, but it's just like it never comes into fruition. And maybe it's the quarterback. Maybe, I mean, you've been hearing people trying to call out the offensive coordinator all of a sudden. I mean, I don't know the dude well enough as far as like, I mean, he worked with Ben Roethlisberger. That's all I know, but I don't know. I mean, they just kind of a weird team. So I don't know. I mean, he definitely was getting the ball to George Pickens more. We kind of seeing that, come to life, that connection. But I don't know. I don't know. The Raiders, Jimmy G is just having way too many turnovers for me, in my opinion. He's already got 6 picks on the year, 5 touchdowns. That's bad. It don't matter if you threw for 324 yards. You got 2 touchdowns and 3 picks. I mean, that just sounds like decision making there, my friend, which for the longest time, you were one of the best as far as decision making, but it's looking a little ugly. And then it's just like everybody thought, hey, same offensive coordinator that he had when he was winning in New England, but I don't trust Josh McDaniels and no head coach. I mean, it ain't like we've ever seen it work. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and get into these last couple of matchups, man. So, I really want to go talk about this game, but I just feel like it's right. This is a setup. You know what I mean? Because I've been able to do this show by myself. I was supposed to have about 3-4 other people come on. I sent the link. Anybody hop on, say, hey, man, hey. Now y'all let me say what I want to say. So the Giants and the 49ers played on Thursday Night Football. Score ended 30-12. It was kind of expected. But, they on prime time, so who had their eyes on the TV on Thursday. Every single Cowboys fan trying to see how the 49ers did against the Giants. And I just so happened to have one at my house on Thursday when this game was on. Oh, nigga, since the 49ers even let the Giants score, the Cowboys automatically better than them. I said, okay. Okay. You think that if you want to. I mean, Giants, they did put up a fight. I feel like they did have a chance to put more points on the board. They did have some question of flags thrown on them, but hey, it is what it is now. The results is the results. I'm not going to get too deep into it. Still got a couple more to go through. But, I mean, hey, it just kind of raises the question, was Daniel Jones the right decision? I mean, because shit, you were only able to get 1 touchdown, which is a rushing touchdown. And then the main thing that we was talking about that, Daniel Jones would possibly be a dual threat quarterback. He only rushed for 5 yards. So that dual threat is not coming into it's not there. It's just not there. I mean, he was doing so bad they went ahead and brought in Tyrod Taylor and told him to sit the hell down. So I just don't see it. I mean, Brock Purdy, he played another good game. I mean, people can say if they want to, but he wins. 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. Say, he wins. I mean, yeah, it may be some shots that he misses, but hey, we need to start remembering, as good as he's been doing, this is only his 2nd year, and he ain't even played a full season last year. It got to an NFC championship game. I think he still has some room to grow. I think we can kind of pump the brakes on trying to kill him every time we see something that we don't like. He's still learning. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. He was a 7th-round pick for a reason. Maybe he still has to learn. Hey, you ain't got to sling this bitch over there every time you know. You ain't got to take a chance every time. You ain't got to take a chance every time. But like I said, ain't really too much to, the 49ers. They did what they were supposed to do. But now we get into a team that everybody was already, kind of gassing to beat this team. Now, the problem that I have is that you had everybody saying, well, if Diggs was there, this wouldn't have happened. Last time I checked, Diggs ain't playing in that front seven. And praise up to my man Trayvon Diggs, man. I kind of hate it. I was really looking forward to a lot of matchups that the Cowboys had as far as just like him, because he was going to play against Stephon this year. They had to play the Bills. And I was like, yes, that is going to be a fun matchup to watch, but now we're not going to get it. And I hate it, just for, the entertainment of the fans and shit. I'm pretty sure they was both looking forward to it. I know that they was going to be talking trash to each other, leading up to the game, because we know damn well, if nothing else, he was going to be guarding his brother. We know that. You know what I mean? So I just kind of hate that. But, just, getting back to it, we're not finna act like the Trayvon Diggs was going to stop that run game they put on y'all. I mean, James Conner was looking like old James Conner. Rushed for almost 100 yards. Joshua Dobbs. And let me tell y'all something, man. Hey, shout out Joshua Dobbs. This is the definition of somebody that's taking the clout and running with it. He been all over social media. Ain't nobody knew he was. But guess when you beat the Cowboys and you ain't supposed to, you can definitely get some goddamn clout for a couple days. Hell, we seen him post. It was some post I seen that he did, but then he did another post. Cardinals ain't even got his jersey in the goddamn team store. He just all over social media after that win. And hey, more power to him. More power to him. I can't knock. When you win, you get to do that. I mean, hey, next week, we don't know. But hey, you got to take them as they come. You got to take them as they come. But shout out to the Cardinals. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. I feel like they had a game. They ran the ball. And Joshua Dobbs didn't have to do 17 to 21. Come on, man. 17 to 21. They had a total of 53 plays. He only threw it 21 times. So they knew that they wanted to run the ball. But this is something that is also, so we get to talking about the Cowboys. We know they had some moves they made this offseason. We know that, Kellen Moore, the old offensive coordinator, Mike McCarthy wanted to run the ball. So, now he's the play caller. We understand Kellen Moore is with the Chargers. We see that Justin Herbert's putting up numbers. So we know that, he can score on the offensive side of the ball. But when I look at, so I understand you wanted to have a balanced game, because Tony Pollard had 23 carries, but you still had to throw it 40 times because you were in so deep of a hole. Now, I don't know too much. Like I said, Tony Pollard had 122 yards. Can't be mad at that. Michael Gallup finally had a good game. 92 yards receiving. I mean, CeeDee Lamb didn't have that good of a day. He only had 4 receptions for 53 yards, but I really think that for whatever reason, I feel like Dak was trying to feed Brandon Cooks a little too much. And I also kind of feel like that I don't think they're using Brandon Cooks right. I mean, we looked at Brandon Cooks as a burner. He was getting 1,000-yard, receiving as a burner down the field. They're trying to get him in the middle of the field to get him killed, and He ain't trying to do that. I don't understand why put Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup on the outside. Let CD play slot. Because when you got him on the slot, hey, I feel like that's your best advantage because CD can play anywhere. But Brandon Cooks is an outside receiver. I don't see Brandon Cooks really as a slot receiver just because, he's a smaller wide receiver. He's a smaller wide receiver. And when I mean that, just by I don't think he's, willing to go across the field and take the hits is kind of what I mean. Like, you got some of them to play the slot. They're willing to do that. I don't think Brandon Cooks is. I think he's more of a burner. He wants to beat you with his speed down the sideline. Or, crossing routes, yards after the catch. I think that's where he's trying to beat you. But I just feel like they kept trying to force him the ball in kind of situations that ain't really the best for him. But that's just me, But again, I mean, but this does just go back to what we as far as we talked about this. When everybody kept trying to say that the Cowboys are number one team in the league, I said, can we pump the brakes a little bit? I haven't seen, a game to where I could just say, oh, yeah, the offense is just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talked about, because even in, the game that Dak played against the Giants, his numbers as far as throwing the ball still weren't the best. I'm not taking away they won the game, but they were bad numbers. Like he threw for 54%. And that was the only reason why I was just, okay, can we pump the brakes? Like, yeah, the Giants, okay, for whatever reason, the Giants always seem to just roller coaster and always get. And I don't know what it is about them playing y'all, about playing the Cowboys. I don't know. The Jets, I'm like, yeah, but, you only got 14 points when we're talking about touchdowns and you kicked 5 field goals, which means that, we look at the scoreboard. Yeah, the Jets allowed 30 points, but they only allowed you to get into the end zone twice. But sometimes when you just have a big leg kicker, you're still able to kick them field goals. You can get away with that. But we saw when the defense was not able to bail the offense out, we kind of see what happens. Because, okay, you got the defense hey, we can't do nothing. So what can the offense do? And I think that was kind of where I was because the teams that I said, the only 2 teams I said that was over, the Cowboys. Well, not even, I didn't even put Miami over them, I don't believe. I got to go back and look at my list. But I put the 49ers on it just because I seen them do it on both sides of the ball. And if I put Miami up there, it was only because of their ability to score. If I put them up there. But we talked about it. We were just waiting to see, what exactly is this offense going to look like when the defense ain't playing absolutely lights out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when your defense is playing good, it's easy on the offense. You know what I'm saying? When the defense is keeping niggas from scoring, it kind of makes it a little easier for the offense. So, I don't know. That's just me. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Shout out to the Cardinals. I kind of wish that the rest of my people was on here so that we could really dive into this because they all Cowboys fans except for 1 or 2. But yeah, man. That's just kind of how I feel about the whole situation. But we almost done. We could wrap this up. Eagles and the Bucks. And I also wish he was on here too. Because for the past 2 weeks, if you watching or if you see this, Baker Mayfield is trash. The only thing I'm giving you is that Mike Evans dropped the touchdown. But other than that, sorry, buddy. 15 to 25. 146 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. 60%. League average is 65. If he didn't have that good game against the Bears where he had a 76% completion percentage, he would be under the league average of 75. Like, that's the benchmark is 65. If you're under 65% completion, it's not that good. And I told you, I said, can we pump? I kept trying to tell y'all, even with all these other teams, can we look at strength of competition before we start just, I told you the Bucs have played the Vikings and the Bears. Do you trust either one of them defenses right now? Honestly. And the Eagles, who have been letting teams come back in the second half, was able to hold him up. So, nah, man. This nigga been coming over here talking about Baker Mayfield. And nah, dog. Ain't no way in hell. So that's just me. But shout out to the Eagles. They did what they were supposed to do. Wasn't the best game, out of Jalen Hurts, of course, but shit. When you playing against Baker Mayfield, sorry ass, you can get away with that bullshit. Man, you seen that dude been gassing up Baker Mayfield the past 2 weeks. I told him to pump his brakes until they play a real ass team. And the Eagles ain't even play that good. That's the thing. Jalen Hurts didn't even have his best game. That was one of the one of the more worst games that we've seen from Jalen Hurts. If we're just gonna be honest about it. Yeah, he threw for 277, but he had a touchdown, but he had 2 picks. He rushed for another touchdown, but he had 2 picks, which means he gave you the ball back twice. So, nah, ain't going for that. I told you, can we wait until they actually play a decent defense? Because I don't believe in the Vikings defense, and I damn sure don't believe in the Bears defense. And you want to hold your nuts over them beating the goddamn Chicago Bears. Come on, man. We can go ahead. Everybody that's on this podcast right now can probably fuck around and go find 6, 7, 8 more niggas to play offense, and we could probably score on the goddamn Bears, man. Them niggas don't give a damn. At this point, these niggas just collecting game checks. Eagles still going through growing pains because they got new offensive coordinators. Hell, they've been letting everybody come back, but the Bucs couldn't do nothing. So, nah, man. I told you, you better get off of this Baker Mayfield wagon, bro, because you the only bandwagoner he got left. Ain't nobody else cheering for that nigga but you and Buccaneers fans because they ain't got no choice. They ain't got no choice. They may not want him, but they ain't got no choice. And again, the Eagles Jalen Hurts didn't have his best game. 2 turnovers, and he was still able to come out with the win. Why? We ain't putting this on the team because Baker Mayfield ain't it, man. He just ain't. He's just not. And anybody that thinks he is, you're drunk. You're on hard drugs. You need to check yourself in therapy. Because, this nigga not it. He ain't going to help you, bro. He ain't getting y'all to where y'all got to go. Unfortunately. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But we can go ahead and move on. We're going to get into the last game. Then we're going to get into a little preview. Thursday night football. But last game on the slate, Rams versus the Bengals. Of course, just by human nature, I was rooting for the Rams, of course, with the Bengals being an AFC North opponent. And I was really hoping. I mean, if we're just talking about the game in itself, personally, uh, Joe Burrow still didn't look that good to me, but he was a perfect game manager. He didn't fuck it up. Now we know that he's hurt. Um, and it looked like he kind of aggravated that leg again. But I really attest that win more to the Bengals defense because we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks the receiver for the Rams just came out of nowhere, Puka Nakua, he's pretty much been getting all the targets. Last night they were actually able to keep him to only 5 receptions, 72 yards. They was really trying to get the ball to Tutu Atwell, who I feel like is their big down the field receiver. But they were actually able. I mean, he caught a touchdown, but they were only able to keep him to 4 catches. So I feel like the Bengals defense had a damn good scheme. I just feel like they had a damn good scheme. And you know, it's again with some of these games, it comes down to turnovers. I mean, Joe Burrow didn't throw a touchdown. He had a pick. Matthew Stafford threw one, but unfortunately he had 2 interceptions. So, and I don't know how many of y'all watched this game, but like I said, it really wasn't like I just didn't feel like that anybody just kind of was just dominating the other. But what I will say is that when I went back and well not look, but I was just listening to the Rams wasn't able to convert on any third downs at all. Like I'm looking at the numbers right now. They went 1 for 11. You're going to lose. On top of that, if you go 1 for 11, time of possession, they have the ball for 12 more minutes, so almost a full quarter, and then you throw, one more interception and end up, allowing 6 sacks. That's not a formula that is going to bring you a lot of wins. Now, I'm not going to go all crazy. But yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'm still not gonna go too crazy on the Rams yet. I feel like they have a stretch to where they can actually come back and win some games. They just got to get, you know, it just depends on how they move the next couple of weeks, right? So they got the Colts. The Eagles is going to be a tough game. The Cardinals, I don't know. I don't know. Steelers, Cowboys, Packers, Seahawks, it ain't a terrible schedule. And on top of that, Cooper Kupp is still coming back. So I still think there's hope for the Rams. Uh, and I agree with you on that. Joe Burrow is very injury prone. And it's really, if you notice, it's all lower leg injuries. Last week, even with Baltimore, we saw that he re-aggravated that injury. This week, we saw him limping. I feel like they're gonna have to find a stretch of like whenever they play some NFC teams that's kind of like, bottom of the barrel or something, if there's one. And they might just have to sit Joe Burrow down. I mean, me personally, I don't give a damn. Like I said, they're a division rival to me. They can sit them down all they want to. Ain't gonna do nothing but help me. But I just feel like, Joe Burrow he's very injury prone. And I just don't see I just can't see him making it through a full season on that fucked up calf. I just don't see it. It's like, how long is he going to be able to sustain playing on that bad leg? Like, how long is he really going to be able to sustain that? So, I don't know. But, hey, he came out with the win. It was ugly. You know, defenses were playing some damn good ball. Like I said, the Bengals came away with 2 picks. Ultimately, I feel like that's what sealed the win. Hell, Joe Burrow threw the ball almost 50 times, didn't score a touchdown, 26 for 49, 259 yards. So it was definitely ugly. I mean, Joe Mixon was looking like the best player on the team for a minute before Jamar Chase decided to go ahead and go off. He had 141 receiving yards. So, you know, they were just able – I think the difference really was, you know, the takeaways, and they was able to, you know, get more field goals up, because that's really what it was. That's really what it was, because it wasn't like they was both just, you know, getting down there. Cincinnati was just able to get close enough to keep, you know, kicking field goals. Yeah, because Brett Maher for the Rams, he made all 3 of his kicks. Difference is, hell, the Bengals had five goals at it, and McPherson made 4 or 5. So as you see in the score right there, 16-19, 3-point game, close game, hard fought game. I mean, they both 1 and 2, but you know, still a lot of season left. Still a lot of season left. But this is the last topic we're gonna get to. You know, Thursday night preview, Lions and the Packers. I feel like this is actually gonna be a damn good game. I don't know now. I don't know if Jair Alex. I don't know the extent of Jair Alexander's injury, but I definitely feel like if there was a game where they needed him, I mean, they definitely needed him, you know, last week at the beginning of that game, you know, but luckily they were able to come back and get the W. But you know, what I'm reading right now, Jair Alexander, he was a limited participant in practice, just because I don't think that you're going to be able to, you know, I don't think that you're going to be able to beat the Lions if you don't have him on Amon-Ra St. Brown. I just don't see that. If you allow, you know, if you ain't got Jair Alexander out there guarding him, I kind of feel like you're gonna just make it too easy. You're gonna make it too easy for Detroit. But if you got Jair Alexander, I feel like this is gonna be a real competitive game. Me, just who I'm picking, just because I'm still sticking with, you know, the dude I've been talking about for the last shit since he got with the Lions. I'm picking the Lions just because I believe in Jared Goff. I feel like he has enough experience, enough talent. I think that defense is playing some good ball. You know, that was a close nip and tuck game that they played against the Seahawks. But I feel like he'll get the best of this Jordan Love. I think he'll kind of let niggas know, like, hey, we still in this division too. 27-17, I could see that. Or maybe I go 27-20. I feel like it'd be a one-score game. I feel like it'll be a one-score game. But I'm going with the Lions just because like I said, I've been talking about Jared Goff, you know, since he went to the Lions. I didn't too much, you know, like how they tried to push my boy out the door with the Rams, but, you know, they won the Super Bowl. So I guess, you know, you can't really say too much about that. But yeah, man, I fuck with my boy Jared Goff, man. That's just me. You know, I'm one that has been beating the table for my boy Jared Goff, because he's still playing. And the dude only 28 years old. Niggas still acting like he old. You know what I mean? Shit. I mean, shit, he still had a damn good game against the Seahawks. Lord, they lost 37-31, but I think that game went to overtime. And he threw for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Come on now. He had a pick, but hey, 80% completion percentage, almost 70% for the year. I don't see why. But in the same breath, I won't be surprised if they lost, just because I do like what Jordan Love is doing. Like we talked about earlier, for you to come back from a 17-point deficit against because I think New Orleans is one of the better defenses, and for you to come back and score 18 on them to win the game, it's saying something. And it wasn't like you wasn't running the ball. I mean, you was throwing it too, but you was definitely, you know what I'm saying? And you didn't have your best corner on the other side either. I feel like that's saying something. I definitely feel like that's saying something. So, we're going to wrap it up. I'm taking the Lions. I'd probably go more or less 27-20. I feel like it'll be a little bit of a closer game. I do respect the Packers defense, but we'll see, man. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I feel like this is a pretty good episode. Wasn't on here too long. That's been another episode of the Cold Truth Podcast, though, man. I'm your host, White Boy Chris. And we out, man.